Hello everyone, happy to participate in this International Reality Transurfing Day, and today I want to share with you a topic called living according to my own rules, or our own rules, and that's a big one. So hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm talking here from lovely New Zealand. And that's also I manifested by living according to my own rules, and I'm going to share with you my knowledge. And here I'm not going to add more information from what's been taught in the books. I'll just give you practical information from my life, how I applied reality transurfing, and just to give you another aspect of how can we live better and happier life and create a reality that we really want to be in. I'm Dmitri Biletzsky. I'm the Transurfing trainer for Australia and New Zealand. And as you can hear from my accent, this English is actually not my mother tongue language, but it's actually my main language at the moment because I'm living in New Zealand. And my original language is Russian, but also Hebrew, because I moved around and lived in many countries. So about my background, I'm a mental health professional, addiction counselor, and done a lot of spiritual and metaphysical practices along the years. And transurfing is one of my main tools of the way I work, and I love it. I discovered transurfing in 2010, and everything just made sense. And today I'm going to talk about living according our own rules. And what I want to kind of emphasize more how it happening in my life, just to give you some inspiration, encouragement that life according to reality transurfing actually works and you can achieve whatever you want. Alright, so what does it mean to live or create a life according to your own rules? You know, where since we are born, our real self, you know, like when we are a baby, we have this, you know, kind of clean slate, but not really. But let's imagine like we have a complete clean slate. So then we have the pressure from our environment to do things in a certain ways, to behave in a certain ways, to achieve certain ways. Even, you know, yesterday I was just looking at a movie called Tom and Jerry, you know, just to have fun, to see how it went, because I grew up on these cartoons, and I noticed there, for example, so much violence, so much kind of, the messages there are you need to have a lot of things, and of course in that movie probably the outcome was things are not really important, but all this fame and fancy restaurants, and you need to be someone, and you know, so these messages, and little kids watching them, and they have no idea how that information, that kind of food, will influence them when they'll become older. So all these programs are being sucked in our brain, and then it's hard for us to figure out what we want, what our goals are, and live happy life. And eventually when we get older, something doesn't add up. Life is hard. Something, you know, what's wrong with us? Why we're not happy, you know? So all those things, the ways and programs how we're supposed to live, is kind of hardwired to us, and for a lot of us it's really hard to achieve them. So let's talk about some specific examples. If it's in relationships, it has to be get married in a certain age and have children and have a mortgage and pay for a house for 30 years and have a decent job and yeah, so things like that. In my case, it was going to the military because why? Because my family decided to immigrate from post-Soviet Union country to Israel, and then because I was there, I just needed to conform and comply to whatever is happening there. So I'll just give you how I created life according to my own rules in the situation that I was put, because moving from post-Soviet Union country to Israel wasn't in my control at all. It was solely my parents' decision, and there is nothing I could do about. Well, maybe as a 5-year-old, maybe I ran out of the house or whatever, but of course I didn't do it. Anyway, so so the first thing I remember was in the primary school, everybody was kind of physically abusing each other and was hitting each other, and then I declined to do it. Why should I do it? And then one girl came to me and asked me out of surprise, "Dmitri, why are you not hitting anyone? What's the problem with you?" And I told her, it makes no sense to me to hurt anyone else. Simple as that. So I'm really fortunate and lucky that I got this sense of critical thinking from really early age. And of course I was influenced by my environment, but my sense of critical thinking was really high, and I declined to do it. And then later on, when I grew up, I went to the military school, and again it was more like my parents' decision to send me there. And when I was 13 years old, I wasn't fully aware of what and how I'm doing, but still, yeah, I went to the military school. And then after a few years, when my sense of self and self-awareness and ability that I can control whatever is happening, like, you know, I mean my decision, not whatever happening outside of me, but my decision how to play this game, this reality, I decided, listen, in 12th grade, the last year, the opportunity showed up. It was a sign that I could leave this military school without getting any penalty. Because back then, if you leave in the last year, you need to pay a big fine, because they kind of trained you to be a professional in electricity or whatever. So it was opportunity for us, whoever want to leave, because there was a lot of people talking about leaving and nobody actually done it, except me. So it was opportunity to leave, and I just took it. Yes, I'm leaving school. Of course, I'm like was taught in the Transurfing, don't shut your current door quickly, but wait and plan accordingly. So what I did, I was looking for another school, and I completely knew that the life and the universe will be on my side, and I'll find proper school to go to. So I arranged another school. After 5 schools declined and told me you need to do 12th grade again, there was one school who agreed that I'll just finalize the last few months. So luckily I was working back then. I could afford to pay my own school. I didn't need my parents to do it. And I just arranged everything, and the same day I said, I'm quit. can you please sign the papers? And I felt so good, like everyone, like my commander, I asked him to sign, and he said, no, wait, maybe let's talk about it. I said, this is my decision, I already made it. Can you please sign the papers? I'm allowed to quit the school. The manager of the school allowed it. I want to take this opportunity. I really appreciate you, but I already decided there's nothing that can change my decision. So, decision made, and I did the process. I left the school and finished the school in another place. And one of the best decisions I ever done, and also it led me to meet some really cool people that influenced my life in other ways. And then I saw how everything is connected. Like when you fall in your own path, everything kind of adds up in all areas. Like the other goals that I wanted also kind of showed how they could be manifested through just following your main path, you know. Anyway, so I left this military school, and then was the other thing. I need to go actually to the military. And then, because everybody going to the military in Israel, well, most people except people who are very disabled or whatever, but this is what required. This is the rules of the game. Like even when you go to jobs in Israel, everybody asks you where you serve the military. When you go to social gathering, they ask you where did you serve the military. You can't just escape from it. Everybody asking where did you go to the military. So this is a big thing. And also, like I've seen how all the military people in Israel goes to school and try to explain that, oh, the Muslims are the enemies, there are terrorists, there are that, so we need to protect the country. So that narrative, that nobody in my social circle questioned this narrative. This is the right, this is the truth, and that's why you need to do whatever you need to do. So, and what I did, luckily and thanks to reality transurfing, I didn't know back then that I was doing this reality transurfing. I was using some of the secret principles in combination of other reality creation techniques, but then later when I discovered reality transurfing, so I knew that's actually reality transurfing, because without it there is no way, it was a miracle the way I was able to get a legal exempt from the military. So eventually didn't go. And I lost 95% of my friends in social circle because they judged me because I didn't go to the military. And I had a good reason why not to go, valid reason, and nobody cared because yeah, I didn't follow the general rules of life in that specific place. But again, I created life according to my rules. And as you go in reality transurfing, you go to the image and photo gallery and you just choosing the right images. Of course, the images that I chose was maybe freedom to do whatever I want, but there it was without the people and the friends that I had before. But that was my choice, and I'm super happy about it, and my soul was so happy just singing. Yeah, it was amazing. So that's that. And then I'll give you another example how I'm living according to my own rules. So also the country that my parents took me and immigrated to Israel, it's not like the country is bad, and you know, like every place has positives and negatives, but I had the ability to choose to live whenever I want. And all my environment, including the close people, told me, don't do immigration. It will be really hard, it's impossible, you won't succeed, you won't make it. But wait a second. In their reality, it's not possible, yes? But in mine, that I'm creating right now, it's only written down in the configuration file, has been taught by reality Transurfing by within Zealand. Using configuration file, that's the reality you're going to create and the rules that you're going to live by. So this is what I was creating, and that was happening today. So what I did, I immigrated to New Zealand because one of the rules that I wanted, because I was living in the desert basically in Israel, so I wanted to have this green scenery around me. For me it was like, I don't know, I was watching these cartoons when they have like amazing spaces in nature and the forest, yeah, and yes, my soul said yes, I want that. And desert, it's not like the desert is bad, but again, as we go to the gallery, there is a photo of a desert, photo of a forest. I want photo of a forest. There's nothing wrong in the desert, it's just I choosing to do that. Very simple. So eventually I choose to do that because I can create rules for my own life, you know. So, and I understood that whatever happened to me when I'm not in control of, like, you know, moving to Israel and all this enforcement of going to the military or going to specific school, that wasn't in my control before. But when I grew up, we have 100% control over our actions and emotional space, and whoever we choose to interact, we have 100% control. And the soon we take the responsibility on our actions, we will be able to control and create better reality for us to live in. Yeah, so eventually what happened, yeah, it's already my 6th year and I'm living in New Zealand. And another big area I want to say that it's relationships. So I want to admit that I was really involved in the pickup community in Israel, and it wasn't a lot about, you know, the pickup itself. It's a lot about self-improvement, a lot of psychological work on myself, because I grew up in very traumatic emotional environment. I don't want to expand a lot about that, but I needed to do a lot of work to have some kind of confidence and ability to face the world. And that's what eventually allowed me to be a therapist and work in mental health, because I understand what a person actually needs to do in order to clear all this programming. So it means that I worked a lot to remove the old programming that I had from my environment. So anyway, so this community was like just a good environment for self-improvement, self-growth. Eventually the Transurfing is exposed to me also kind of through that, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Eventually I had the experience in this world about, I had a fixed you know, idea of how relationship should be like, you know. When I was 9 years old, I kind of thought, oh, I know everything about love. Just watch some cartoons with Bilby. Oh, love is just saying I love you. That was what I knew about love, and that's so. Oh, I just know everything. There's nothing to know about. Or and also, you know, like probably you heard about, there is a monogamy. So it means that you need to marry one person in a certain age and have children and have a house and have apartment and have you know, send kids to school and everything, and that's normal. That's what you're supposed to do. So For me, that's okay, definitely okay. I'll probably need to follow that. But then, when I been a part of that community, I understood. Wait a second, you don't have to do it. You can have also a life that you can have new partner every day. You can have few partners every day. And also I learned that it's not necessarily people are faithful, because I thought that if you in a relationship with someone, there is no way people can cheat, or people are cheating just in the movies. But then when I grew up and it struck me that I was actually involved without knowing with a woman that actually have someone or have a husband, oh my god, I couldn't believe that actually someone able to cheat. And then that kind of ruined my paradigm. So, and then kind of that woke me up, and something not adding up with what I learned about relationships. What is happening? Yeah. And then I understood there is no rule for relationship. There is no rules. You know, you have like 12 rules for successful relationship, 5 steps to get your relationship better. That's all just marketing, just a way of presenting whatever people want to present in a way that psychologically the people will read or watch the content. But eventually it's there is no specific rule. It's everybody create their own rules in the relationship. So if people want to be with one another for 30 years, that's completely fine. If people want to have open relationship and have make rules that one night will be with their main partner, the other night will be the secondary partner or whatever, or all will be together, that's also fine. You know, this life is short anyway. You know, like you'll be dust in I don't know 30, 50, 100 years, depends on your lifestyle, how healthy it is. Yeah, so you'll be dust anyway, so you should choose. Of course, if you want to be super happy and live according to your, you know, credo, again in Russia said, yeah. So you need to choose whatever feels good for you, and there is someone who will agree with you, and the right people will be attracted to you that will agree with whatever rules you make. And that's another point, that when you completely know and honest with who you are and what's your rules towards life, the right environments, the right people, the right circumstances will arrange themselves that you find yourself living in that reality according to your own rules, and it works 100%. If you continue and adhere to the reality transurfing principles. Simple as. And that's alright for everything. And also again, I just telling you another thing. I'm living today in a motorhome in New Zealand because that's more suitable for my rules. I love moving around this amazing country. For me, staying in one place, I don't really like it, you know. Also, there is a rule that, oh, you need to stay in one certain job for at least 2 years just not to have holes in the resume. No, you don't, you know. You can create another rule. Oh, that's I want to work part-time, or I want to work 6 months and then travel 6 months, or I want to work 1 year and then travel 2 years, or whatever it is. This is your rule, this is your life, short period of life, that's your lessons you need to go through. It's better that you'll make most of it, and why not? So there is no specific rules that you should follow, you know, like you need to create your own. Of course, I'm not encouraging to hurt anyone or whatever, but you know, reasonably to live according to your own rules. because life is so short. So, and that can be in everything. So regards the motorhome, you don't have to buy a house and pay a mortgage for 30 years. And that actually was one of my goals 10 years ago. And you know, there is a big pressure for people to buy this. Oh, he's scared. He's scared of me. Come on, doggy. Come. Cute dog. No. Oh. Maybe I'll step away or something, but that he can move. Yeah.
It doesn't like a stick.
Come on, pass. Yeah.
Here.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, your dog just ran away. Anyway, so just to summarize, in order to live according to your own rules, you need to have these rules set in the configuration file for every aspect of your life. You need to know, hello, you need to know how you live, how you want to live. Hello, hi, good morning. So you need to figure out how you live and how you want to live in every aspect of your life. So means, and especially in the main ones, in your relationship, in the place you live, who are your friends, how you want to make friendships, what friendships mean to you, what kind of work and employment you want to do, how much money you want to have, what kind of interest and time and how you want to spend this time, because every day waking up there's opportunity for you to create reality. Doesn't matter how bad or good you judge your life to be, you can make the choice of making this change every day. Go to your configuration file, write down daily, even twice a day, feel it, see it in all your being, how you want your life to be and to have. And even if you don't really know what you want, it's simple. I'm feeling that I know and I have complete clarity of how I want to live my life in a happy and the best way. This clarity shows up in the right time, so I just trust the universe that that will happen, and it's happening now. Yes, another thing is like, right, and everything in the present tense, everything is happening now, because now it's the only time that we actually alive. Anyway, yeah, so that were just few examples how I live my life with the help of reality transurfing principles, to live according my own rules. And big part of it is to remove and be completely conscious and aware of programming of the environment, of society, of your parents, of the school teachers, of the people at work, of your friends, what you watched on TV and read on the internet or the books. Completely, you need to remove it and distinguish between what is yours and for you, and something that was implanted and installed in your brain that is not yours, that a lot of the time make people just miserable because it's just not belong to them. And then when that clarity is removed, that programming is removed, you have more time to create your own reality. And this is what's said in the first book, the law of balance, and coordination of intention, and all the other tools, you know, like it's when you in balance, you not waste your energy on things that not yours, and then you have a lot more energy to create your own reality. So I'm really grateful to share with you this knowledge and my experience and my kind of, you know, success in reality Transurfing, and I really hope that will give you motivation and encourage you to do the work, because the work on our minds is required effort. It's actually work. It's not like Zelanda says, like lying on the couch and expecting something to happen. No, when you will do the work, when you work on configuration file, doors will open up and you need to step through them. You need to take action. But first of all, you need to configure which doors and the way they are going to open, you know, like, you know, by living according to your own rules in every aspect of your life. Then you will be able to actually recognize those opportunities. So thank you. That was me, Dmitri, health mentor and reality Transurfing coach for Australia and New Zealand.